Hello, my people. We have been learning about themes, so we're going to continue with that, and we're going to continue it with the assignment for today. So you're assigned task cards 1 through 4. I'm going to model the way I think about theme and how I find it. So first thing I have to do is I have to read the story. Hobie's dad picked him up from basketball practice. Practice had to be held outdoors since his school no longer had a gym. In fact, they could only play away games since they didn't have a home court. Hobie loved basketball. However, these changes made it hard for his team. He was telling his dad this as they noticed that the traffic was slowing down ahead. It seemed like people were pausing to look at something before driving on. Hobie hoped that it was a bear or another interesting animal lurking in the woods. When they got closer, they saw that it was a man with an expensive-looking bicycle. The man looked a little shaken. His bike's front tire was bent in half. Ooh, I can kind of infer here that the man was probably in a bicycle accident. The man was waving to the cars for help, but nobody was stopping. Hobie tugged on his dad's sleeve and asked if they could check on him. As soon as they pulled over, Hobie popped out and scurried down the hill. His father followed close behind. Hobie introduced himself and asked if the man was okay. I'm a little banged up, but I'm more embarrassed than anything. I'm going to be late for an important meeting. I was hoping that someone would give me a lift, but everyone seems to be in a big hurry, the man said. Can we give him a ride, Dad? You would want someone to help you, right? Asked Hobie. Hobie's dad and the man both smiled at the boy. They both knew that that was kind of a nice thing, so I'm kind of inferring that, okay? His dad nodded. They put the mangled bike in the trunk. The man pointed to Hobie's Parker Middle School basketball sweatshirt. He asked how the team was this year. They've got a lot of heart, replied Hobie's dad, but it's hard to practice in the snow and rain. The school lost the gym in a tornado a few years ago. They dropped the man off at a shining building downtown. He thanked them again. A month later, Hobie was called to the principal's office. The school just received an email from Miles Bainbridge, the principal said. Does that name sound familiar? Hobie shook his head. He's a very wealthy businessman. He just gave a huge donation to build a new gym. He insisted that it be named after you, she said. She turned the computer toward Hobie to show him a photo of a familiar man who was cutting a ribbon in front of a shopping mall. Hobie smiled. Oh, yes. So I'm going to infer that the man that Hobie helped out was Miles Bainbridge, that wealthy man. All right. So I understand the story. I can summarize it. I know what the main idea is. So Hobie helped this man out, and now he's being rewarded for his kindness. Okay. He has a gym named after him. But I know that's not the main idea. I know the main idea is the underlying message or the big idea. I have to dig deeper than just a summary or a main idea. And I know that my theme is not going to have a character's name in it. So I'm going to look at the choices. I know that this was about being kind and being rewarded for kindness. All right. And it has to be something, theme is something that relates to me, it relates to you, it relates to somebody in Australia, anywhere in the world. So let's see what we have. Being kind is worth it. That could be it because Hobie was kind in the story. We learned that it was worth it. He was rewarded. People sometimes don't always thank others for help. Well, no, that can't be it because Miles Bainbridge did thank Hobie. He thanked him in many ways. He thanked him when he got out of the car, and he thanked him with the reward. Hobie noticed that someone needed help, so he tried to help. That's out. All right? That has a character's name in it, has the plot in it. It doesn't relate to everyone. It's not universal. I know that's gone. Bad things may happen that we can't control. Well, something bad did happen to Miles Bainbridge, but that's really not the big underlying message, so I think that's out. So I think the best one is being kind is worth it. It relates best to the story. I can prove it because Hobie was kind. Miles Bainbridge rewarded that kindness. So I do think I have evidence to prove that.